tough afternoon. Your verdict on that?
Yeah, no excuses. Architects of our own downfall in terms of the man of the goals. Obviously, some fabulous finishes from Villa's point of view, and then you 4-0 down after 28 minutes, half an hour, against a possession-based team that can open you up and hurt you at any opportunity. So it becomes, I'm not going to apologise for it. It becomes damage limitation, and I understand supporters will maybe want to see me and the team get after the opposition in that case, but I think we've already had one of those evenings before, or one of those days before. But saying that, no consolation that it was one after half time and anything like that. Well and truly beaten, no hiding place out there, and we all have to take the criticism from our supporters, because it's been an incredibly difficult afternoon for them, more importantly than us.
Yeah, I was just going to say that there's no hiding place out there at 4-5-0, is it? Because you have the weight of the expectation of the crowd on you. You have to deal with that, don't you? Yeah,
didn't see it coming, I've got to say. Thought we picked the right team. Thought we picked an athletic team, a front-footed team. Obviously disappointed that Ollie Mack couldn't play, but as I said, there's a lot of youth out there, a lot of energy, but I think unless you've played the game at that level in front of 30 odd thousand, it drains you. It drains you as a player, and it drains you as a team. And the quickest the players looks the slowest, and that every pass is an incredibly difficult pass to play. And you look slow, and everything's a reaction and not an anticipation. So I get that people will say, "Oh, we didn't lay a glove on them, or we didn't," and there's certain parts of it. Is first and second balls that we were second best, but we were second best all afternoon, and most certainly when they went 4-0 up, some real, we're not set up to lead 1 versus 1 at the back, So from an organisation point of view, really really poor. Some individually poor goals. I thought the 5th goal was a terrible goal from our point of view. We've not got goal side on something that happened in the first half. And we've not cleared our lines, and we tried to play out, and obviously they go 5-0 up with a brilliant finish off the back of that. But so as manager, I have to stand on that technical area. I've been stood on that technical area plenty of times, and people sing us names. So I've always said this is the game. Everybody's always prepared and willing to say decent things about you. When it's going well, and when you have days like this, you have to accept everything that comes your way, and it's well and truly deserved.
How's the mood in the dressing room amongst the players? Because I imagine that's another big blow to believe.
They're on the floor. They're on the floor. They're not. They're not doing cartwheels in there. They're not. Where am I going later on, and all stuff like that. And if I felt they were, then they won't be part of the journey going forward. It's a difficult one to take. As I said, it's quite difficult, and I'm not being disrespectful, but until you've been out there and you've had to suffer that, because I think we've all had to suffer it. I've had to suffer it as a manager before. Over 1,000 games I've had. There's been a couple. I've had a couple of them, and I've had a couple of them as players. And people say that you don't care, and you're passive, and you're this and you're that and you're other, and if it looks like that, you have to accept that. But we're all hurting, we're on the floor. A reaction is needed. It's going to be a long week for us, and as always, I have to put it right, whether I pick the right team or not, whether I pick the right tactics, right personnel. I have to question all those decisions. When we went out at R5, 25 past 5, I'm not going to make it harder for myself by picking the team that I didn't think was the right team, or people that could do jobs for us, or the right formation. I picked a team that I felt could go and win a game of football. Didn't see it coming, so I have to question all that stuff with my coaches, and the players have got to get their head down and take the medicine.
There's a lot of frustration amongst the supporters, a lot of fans had left early. There's a lot of empty seats, the boos, totally, half time and full time. Imagine you can understand that reaction.
100%. Yeah, there's no. They've been absolutely fabulous to me personally, fabulous to the team right the way through the season. But when you have afternoons like this, evenings like this, which can happen in the Premier League, I think Southampton got done twice 9-0 and stuff like that. So this can happen. You can get put to bed, especially when we've got a pretty young side out there and a lack of know-how and a lack of experience out there as well, which I picked. So I have to accept that as well. But when you are in that sort of situation, it's like you said, Dan. There's no hiding place, and you have to accept everything that everybody says about you. Pick the wrong team, pick the wrong players, didn't motivate him, didn't do this, didn't do that, and that's the way of the world, and that's what you have to deal with if you're in this game.
One of the immediate criticisms from supporters was a sort of lack of fight and desire. I think a lot of fans could understand a gulf in quality and a gulf in spending, but that desire and fight, there can't be a gulf in that, can they?
Well, it looks like that. Of course it does, like I just said though, Dan, when you're 4-0 down, but you become the slowest player in the world. Everything's, like I said to you, until you've been in that situation. And I get it and what it looks like. We didn't win enough tackles, we didn't win enough duels. You're playing against these players that are on top of you, and they're buzzing and they're flowing and they're full of confidence and they're playing one touch, and and it's a really comfortable afternoon and they're enjoying it. Their fans are enjoying it, and our fans shouldn't and we shouldn't accept that. And it is unacceptable for everybody. And I'm front and centre of all that. So I get it. We need to win more tackles. We need to win more races, and everything like that. So that's something that I'll analyse. Tonight, tomorrow, going into Monday, long week. Got to pick the right side. Got to pick the right players who are up for the fight, and we have an opportunity next week of we took a big step backwards today. That's I can't hide away from that. We've been okay, and we've talked about it and the way we've sort of played and the spirit of the team, but it's took a big knock tonight, and that's something that is damaging, and we have to quickly get over.
Are you looking at players now as people as well? Because, like you say, it's easy to accept the praise when everything's going well. When things go against you, do you learn a lot about people as well as players?
Absolutely, medium and long term. So, I know. You look back now and people will say, well, why didn't we play Jack Robinson? I thought it was the right situation and things to play as an L as a central one and pace on the two outside of it with Trusty and there. But obviously, now looking back at that, you look at the game as it goes, and people all say that. So they've got every right to have that, and I totally understand that. Of characters, you're always looking, even good times, when they're playing well and they're winning games of football. Did they get carried away, or did they keep going and keep doing the right things? Did they get ahead of themselves? Or certainly, I think this game's, when the sun, I keep saying it, when the sun's shining and it's, everybody's popping the ball about, it becomes a pretty even, a pretty easy game to play if you're a good player. But now, when things aren't going for you and, you're not connecting those passes, or you're not making that tackle, or you're not winning that header, or you're not getting round and covering and defensively being solid. It becomes a difficult game. So there's only one way you're gonna get out of it, by coming into work on Monday, and analysing it, working as hard as we possibly can. It's going to be a long week, I assure you, and trying to put it right in the next game.
Just finally from me, Ollie McBurney, what was the issue there? Why did he miss out?
Yeah, a tight calf. And I think with Ollie's sort of issues that he's had this season, we took a decision. I believe that if he'd have played, he'd have potentially set himself back 3 or 4 weeks, whereas not playing tonight might give him an opportunity to play next week.